Welcome to Chair Yoga. My name is Tina. We are going to be using a towel today for our practice. So whatever towel you have, you can see mine is just covered me pretty comfortably earlier just now. This will be a 1-hour guided practice. And besides our towel, we will be using our chair. Something sturdy, something that will not move when you are in the midst of moving your limbs on the chair. And just a reminder that this is really a practice for you. So if at any point during the session you'll need to maybe slow some things down, or maybe you want to watch something again, that's what's the great thing about these recordings, is that you're able to rewind, pause, and really move at your own pace. Just also a little bit of an introduction if this is your first time to one of these recordings. This is all part of our Team Senior Planet, which is this fitness and wellness programming here at Senior Planet. We're really excited you're here, and we will get started. So after you've situated your chair and you've gotten your towel with you, you're going to come to the frontage of the chair. You're just going to, before we really move into class, you can just let your towel rest either on top of your lap, or you can just put it on the floor. We will begin class first by doing a centering exercise. So you can start to check in with your breath, with how you're feeling today. And then from there, we're going to move on. So today, I want you to see if you can bring the inner edges of your feet together to touch. If this is, as you move into this position, you're finding, maybe it feels a bit too narrow for me right now, feel free to widen the stance of your feet so that they're at the distance of the chair. You're at the front of the chair already, so with that, there is a little bit more freedom to bring your hands behind you on the chair seat. So with the inner edges of the feet together, your hands are going to reach back, opening up the hand facing back towards the back of the chair. With your inner edges of the feet touching, can you spread your toes forward and out to the sides? So you start to feel the width that comes with your feet. You're going to start to also feel the length that you're making in the side of the trunk as you descend your heels and as you find the weight of your hips supporting you here. With the heels descended, toes spread, hips solid, your hands are going to start to spread on the chair seat itself. You're going to start to bend your elbows back. So you start to find the movement of the arms traveling back, starting to open up your chest. From here, center your chin so that you feel that the back of the head and the front of the head are parallel to each other. Start to move your upper arms back. So rotate them back so you start to improve the opening of the chest. So be careful you're not leaning too much into the hands or pushing yourself too far away from it. You're, for the beginning of class, just trying to find the spreading of attention and a balance on your 2 feet, on your hips, and on your hands. From there, you're going to remove your hands. You're going to bring it to the center of the chest, and you're going to start to soften the shoulders, but see if you can move them down instead of moving them forward. And with there, start to quiet the eyes. Maybe you close your eyes fully. I'm just going to start to face you now. So for our practice today, we're going to do more of a restorative practice. Maybe something for you to do perhaps maybe right before you go to sleep, or perhaps on a day when you are feeling a little bit tired. So we're going to move through some easy movements today, really focusing on the breath. So if at any point your back is really wanting some support, maybe sitting at the front of the chair for too long is something that, is not in your repertoire just yet. At any point you can shift back to the back of the chair so it supports you. Imagining that there's even more softness in the eyeball sockets. Feeling the sense of hollowness in your nostrils, softness in the ear canals. mouth cavity, throat. Maybe you start to focus in on your exhales, observing the exhales, how they move. From where do they move from and to? So you're going to work on extending the exhales slowly, just to a point where you can really find that emptiness at the end of the exhale. And after maybe 3 cycles of that, just go back to your regular breath. Bring your hands down on the tops of the legs, letting the palms rest there. Just observing the quality of your breath now. Knowing the intention I've given you, maybe that you'd like to use to guide your class today as you kind of know it's a more restorative practice. Maybe you have another intention that you'd like to set before we begin. And with your next breath out, starting to slowly open your eyes as you come back, your eyes to the screen. All right. So if your towel is on your lap, you're going to start to just bring it down to the floor. You're going to start to bring it maybe folded in half if it's like a regular towel. And you're going to bring your feet onto it. So in our first sort of preparation, we're going to just start to activate the soles of our feet gently. So you're going to pick up all of your 10 toes, and just like you're starting to bring the towel closer to you, you're just going to start to scrunch your toes a little bit as you start to drag your towel towards you. As you can see, the wrinkles of my towels are starting to form. You don't have to do it to the extent that you start to cramp your leg or your foot in any way. Do it with the awareness of the breath as well, so you don't start to feel that the breath starts to harden because there's effort. You can breathe more more fully as you start to feel more work. So maybe you do 10 times of this, or where maybe your towel has reached all the way towards you. Now we're going to also move the towel back. So you're going to start to press the you're going to scrunch your toes in. You're going to start to, it's as if you're going to iron out your towel. So obviously it's a lot easier to bring it in rather than extending it out. But you just want to start to bring that sense of spreading in the base of the foot. So again, all I'm doing is bringing my toes in, and I'm starting to press my toes into the towel and starting to extend them long and wide. Good. So that was just more for a sensation. You're going to now start to lift your heels up, and you're going to start to now bring your towel up. Just for a moment, rest your towel on your lap and just start to feel how the ground beneath you feels a little bit more different. Maybe you start to feel more of a sharpness in the inner edge of the foot and the outer edge of the foot. We're going to start to open up the back a little bit with the assistance of the towel. So we're going to first have the towel folded in half, and then you're just going to start to make a little slim roll. So maybe you go 2 or 3 times so that the towel looks like this. So you have a little roll at the top, just a side view, right? Little roll at the top. So what you're going to do now is to bring your feet about the distance of the chair, so parallel to each other. You're going to bring the towel close up to the top of the leg where it starts to meet the hip. So I'm going to turn the chair around so you can see what we're going to be working on. So what I want you to do is to bring your hands to the end of the towel and to pull back. So I'll show you closely. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the towel, we're going to bring it to the hips, and we're going to pull back this way. So it's as if you want to bring the towel to hug more closely to the hip creases themselves. So with that going, can you start to feel the sense of traction happen? So in the back. So the traction of the hips moving back as you start to extend the front of the chest beyond the knees. So maybe you find, oh, the support of the roll here starts to feel pretty comfortable for the back. You can again pull the towel gently back so you start to feel that sense of widening in the back. If this feels accessible, you can start to bring your hands towards the tops of the legs. So you don't want to press the floor away and round your shoulder blades in any way. You just want to start to feel the front of the body feels long and has the support of that towel. You can let your head rest without letting the shoulders hunch up or the chest start to cave up. So see if you can keep the front of the chest long. If you find that the belly is hanging in an uncomfortable position, see if you want to bring your feet closer to touch so that there seems to be more of a countertop for your chest. And if that's not comfortable, you can widen your legs even more so that the belly can rest in between the two legs. So again, just different variations to see which one is more comfortable and for which one you feel the spread of the lower back here. Can you observe the breath, especially your exhales? If you can reach your palms to the floor, you reach them to the floor. And then slowly with your next exhale, you're going to walk your hands up the top of the leg, and you're going to slowly bring your hands to the thighs. So you're going to extend your head up slightly. So you're looking in front of you. You're going to press your hands down and come up to a vertical seat. For a moment, just observe the quality of the breath. And then you're going to see if you can now roll that roll a little bit thicker. So my towel just lost its fold, so I'm going to refold it. And so what I'm just saying is that I'm going to see if I can, instead of just rolling the towel twice, maybe I roll it 4 times so that the roll becomes thicker. And once again, I'm going to pull the towel closer to me. I'm going to show you in the front. Pull the towel closer to me so that when I start to extend, I can start to extend the back as well. And this time, maybe you want to experiment with a different kind of configuration with the feet. You can bring your feet together to touch, or you can separate your feet wide. You're going to exhale, start to pull back with your hands on the edges of the towel as you extend the trunk forward, and maybe you can start to lower your head. At the moment you feel that the shoulders start to hike up, or maybe you start to feel the upper back start to round to the ceiling, you can always come up a little bit higher and bring your forearms to rest on the tops of the legs, or you can also pull back with the edges of the towel and start to find maybe you're not going so low and you're maybe going a quarter of the way down. But at any kind of decision that you've made with how to interact with this towel, see if there's a moment you can find where you can focus on your exhales. Just observing where the exhale is moving from and moving to. And then slowly, you're going to bring your hands to the tops of the thighs, palms facing down. You're going to press down as you come up to a seated position. Great. So our last version is to roll the towel all the way so that it is a big roll, like this. You're going to once again pull back and extend the trunk. So if you find that the abdomen starts to feel compression because of the roll, you don't have to roll it so much. You can just roll it at the second one. But however, this time, maybe you want to see if you can start to pull the towel back and just come halfway So if you were coming halfway, you stack your other hand at the top. And maybe if you find that the big roll starts to help you go lower, you can even, maybe this time you start to close your legs in and extend the trunk so it's resting on the platform of your legs. So from the side view, it would look something like this. So again, you don't want to feel too much of a strain in the contents of your abdomen. You can always hold on to the elbows if you're able to come that far low. Again, there is a sense of length you're making in the front of the body, right? But there's a sense of relaxation too you're bringing to the body itself. You can let your chin go, let your neck rest. So feel a sense of balance so you're not tilting all the way forward, you're not scooching all the way back with your weight. You have weight in the hips, you have weight in your arms, you have weight in the heels. And then exhale, bring your hands to the tops of the thighs once more. You're going to press down and come up to a seated position. Observe your breath now. Great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and bring this roll back to its half fold. And what you're going to do is you're just going to fold it half the other way. And then you're going to start to fold it half the other way so that it becomes more of a square. You're going to put it at the top of your chair and you're going to fold it once more so it is a fat rectangle, so like so. You're going to sit on it, and so I want you to feel the connection of your sitting bones on the chair itself, and the fact that sitting like this with a little bit of an elevation may start to feel a little bit easier for yourself to sit. You can see, if you can, maybe you want to scooch your way all the way to the back of the chair and connect with the chair back itself. Maybe that will feel nice. But of course, you don't want to be slanted. You want to be vertical. So maybe you're just slightly in front of the chair back itself. And with this going, can you start to feel the pressing down of your buttock bones underneath as you lift the side of the trunk? And then slowly exhale. You're just going to remain this sense of balance against the towel. As you start to rotate, you can let your hands just rest on your thighs as you start to slowly rotate the trunk to the right side. And you can just observe your exhales here. And then slowly, next inhale, you're going to turn back to the center. Observing again balance between left buttock, right buttock. As you start to exhale, turn towards the left. So it's a gentle exhale, gentle turn. Then slowly turning back to the center. And you're going to do that one more time. This time maybe you want to lift your left arm up. As you exhale, start to turn and cross the arm across your right leg. And maybe you want to start to hug the right edge of the chair back with the nook, the crook of your right elbow. But not in a very forceful fashion. So again, we're working very soft, very easy. But do you start to feel a lot of weight dumping to the left hip or right hip? Can you observe balance on both? And then slowly bringing yourself back to the center, and you're going to do that now to the other side. So you're going to start to, I'm just going to face you now. So what you're going to start to do is you're going to start to rotate yourself towards the left. Maybe you start to lift up the right arm as you start to slowly cross the right arm towards the outside of the left knee. And again, use now that left crook of the elbow to gently rotate yourself towards the left. Again, still keeping that sense of balance in the weight of the hips, the weight of the feet as well. Breathe fully. And then slowly you're going to bring yourself back to the center. And just for a moment of comparison, you're just going to start to come off of the chair of your towel. So you can now bring your towel forward. And you're going to just sit the same place you're sitting. And you're going to start to exhale, start to turn the trunk towards the right side. I want you to just feel the difference here as you start to maybe use the crook of that right elbow on the top back corner of that right chair back. And with that, so you're not moving forcefully, but you do want to find with every inhale, you lengthen the trunk. And with the exhale, you start to rotate the trunk a little bit more to the right side. Breathe fully here. Find again that evenness in the left side of the trunk, right side of the trunk, with a way that's sort of very soft for the face. And then slowly turning the trunk back to the center. You're going to start to now, once more, rotate towards that left side of the trunk. Just hook the elbow to the top left-hand corner of the chair back. And again, see if you can slowly start to grow the pose. So start to slowly inhale, lift the side trunk, and exhale, turn the trunk towards the left side. And again, observing what is the difference between not sitting on a towel now. And then slowly turning yourself back to the center. So now we're going to do a little bit of opening for the shoulder. So I'm going to come forward so you can see what we're doing with the towel. I'm actually going to let go of it fully, completely. And after that, I'm going to just make a big roll. So after I open it up, I'm going to start to roll it from the whole thing. So it becomes a large roll. A skinny large roll like this. Floppy roll like this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start to hold this roll a little bit wider than your shoulder width. So maybe you can even hold it at the ends of the towel itself. So if you find that the grip is maybe too thick for you, you can also just work without it, right? At any point, if the towel does not seem to be very suitable, because maybe your palm is not the same size as the width of the towel, you can just let go, but you can just make the same shape with your arms. So from there, you're going to extend your arms forward, and you're going to start to tilt the towel, and you're going to tilt the towel and your left hand to reach up. And with that, with this diagonal shape you're making with the towel, you're just going to bring the whole diagonal shape of the towel back towards the back of your right ear. And with that, you're going to start to slowly let the left arm take over as you start to bring the towel back, straight back behind you, like it's going to be a pillow for your head to rest on. And then slowly you're going to let the left hand keep pulling the towel down, so now the diagonal and the back side. And then now you're going to start to let the right arm pull this diagonal shape back forward. And then last thing, maybe you've guessed it, we're going to bring the towel back to the center. So that was the slow version of it. This is, maybe some of you know this as a figure 8 with your shoulders. So you're going to, again, diagonal, right hand side, right forward, right back. You're going to bring the towel horizontally back to the back of your head. And now you're going to let the towel be on the back left diagonal. Let the right hand take over. So now it's at the front left diagonal. And you're going to bring your towel back to the horizontal position. Again, at any point, if the hands get tired because of the grip of the towel, you can just bring your arms wide. So maybe you want to start to smooth that out a little bit. So can you start to exhale, pull the right arm down, inhale, pull the towel back, exhale, bring the towel straight back, inhale, start to bring the towel to the back diagonal, exhale, bring it to the front diagonal, and start to bring your next breath towards the horizontal position. So then as you start to bring that to the right hand side again, you can start to slowly speed up with the movement of your breath. So you're going to exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So again, I'm just going to demonstrate the version without it. You're going to exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So of course, this is something you can also do if you find that this towel is too thick, right? You can just do it maybe a little bit of the way. So you're holding less of it. That's another variation. So maybe you're finding that is a little bit too wide. Maybe you are able to bring your hands closer towards each other. So then I'm just showing a variation where you don't have to hold so much of the towel. You're just kind of becomes a little bit like bullfighting a little bit. No? Okay. So again, you can narrow the stance of your arms. It just will be a more of a challenge for the arms, right? You do want to try to see if you can do it without moving so much of your chest, moving so much of your head, and know that if you have this towel draped all over you, it becomes like a performance art piece as well. So we're going to now do it to the other side. So the left arm starts to move down. So the right arm takes the towel to the diagonal. Towel moves back to the back diagonal. The towel now moves straight back behind your head. Towel moves to the back of the right ear. Towel moves to the front of the right ear. And then slowly towel moves forward. So that's to the left side. And again, once more. Towel moves to the front left position. Back left position. To the back of the head. To the back right diagonal, front right diagonal, and the forward position. Once more, maybe you smooth it out. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. One more, exhale, front diagonal, inhale, back diagonal, exhale, straight back, inhale, back right diagonal, exhale, front right diagonal, inhale, completely forward. So a speed up version of this could be exhale, great, good work. So we can do that version again with the arms slightly closer to each other. I'm going to show now the version just one side to the right and one side to the left, but actually with my hands straight, just to let you know that for most of these things you can do it with yourself. Your body as a prop. Of course, that, when you start to move, you could lose a little bit of the width of the arms, but that's also a good point for you to examine where you're starting to feel tight in the shoulders, and maybe, if we start to use the towel to move quickly to the left, you can start to see that the elbow bends at a certain point, right? So that might be the point where I want to maybe work a little bit. See, my head is not moving with it. I want maybe to work a little bit slower there. And then at the point where I can start to feel my elbow straight, I can move a little bit faster there. So that is our figure 4 of the shoulders. Just for you to experience with the towel. Great. So now we're going to move to the more experientially focused part of the class. So what you're going to do is you're just going to let your towel be resting on the tops of your legs, just because the towel has been everywhere. Or else I would encourage you to actually use the towel to cover your eyes, because what we're going to do next, we're going to do seated with our eyes closed. So I'm going to invite you now to come to the back edge of the chair. I'm just going to show you laterally what you're going to do to set up. So I just want you to feel yourself completely connected to the back edge of the chair. If the back edge of your chair does not allow you to do this, bring some sort of a cushion, any kind of support for you to do it. So maybe you can bring something that looks like this, right? Something for the back of your chair. Maybe that works well for your chair, but I have a special chair, so maybe that's not something that will work for me particularly. Okay, after you've settled there, you're going to now start to, like I said, you're going to close your eyes. So don't worry, we're not gonna get up, we're not going to be, kind of be in compromising shapes. We're just going to find a moment to settle the attention inwards. If closing the eyes is something that's not accessible for this moment right now, you can just soften the eyes. See if you can turn that attention inwards. So we're going to do just some easy joint movement work. So we don't really need the eyes. So you're going to first just settle the attention as you sit with your back supported and your chest open. So really connect to your breath. Be very clear to yourself about where the breath is moving, how it's moving. So now we're going to couple the breath with movement. So we're going to breathe first and move after. So the first movement before you move, I'm just going to describe it to you, is that we're just going to start to tilt our head so our ear moves towards the shoulder. You don't have to move just yet. So with your next exhale, start to tilt your left ear to left shoulder and use your breath to determine how far and how long you move your head. With the next inhale, you're going to move your head back to the center. So when you are ready for the exhale, you're going to move your head so the right ear moves to the right shoulder. And with the next inhale, you're going to bring your head back up to the center. We're going to do this twice more. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, head back to the center. So respect the breath and use that as the primary sort of measurement to how far you go. So right ear to right shoulder, exhale. Inhale, head back to the center. And last time, exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, head back to the center. Last time, left ear, right shoulder. Come back to the center. And then just observe the breath once more. Okay, so now I'm going to describe the movement to you. You can always, in between, open your eyes if you find that that's helpful, but also I'm just going to, say the movement to you as well. But if you do need to see it, I can also demonstrate it. So the next movement that we're going to do is we're going to start to move the nose towards the shoulder and bringing it back to the center. Again, just like the same idea of the first time we did it with the ear to the shoulder, this time we're going to start to bring the nose to the shoulder. So with the next exhale, you can start to bring your chin to the left shoulder, or you can think about the nose to the left shoulder. And then inhale, bringing your chin back to the center. So again, it's not about how far your chin can go. Exhale, chin towards the right shoulder. Inhale, chin comes back to the center. So twice more. Exhale, chin to the left. Exhale, chin back to the center. Exhale, chin towards the right. Exhale, back to the center. Inhale, back to the center. Sorry, last time. Exhale towards the left. Inhale, back to the center. Last time, exhale to the right. And inhale, back to the center. So again, if you just did this earlier with your eyes soft and open and you find that, you're more connected, you're always welcome to keep your eyes open. But maybe there's some sort of experience you can have when the eyes are just closed. Since again, we're just doing some simple movements here. Pairing breath with movement more consciously. Good. So now we're going to start to work on bringing your arms overhead and then bringing your arms to reach back. So if you wanted, to just take a look before you actually do it and close your eyes, you can just keep your eyes open. So what we're going to do is we're going to exhale, bring our arms overhead. And then when we need to inhale, you're going to bring your arms down, and you're going to bring your arms down to next to the chair. And then with the next exhale, you're just going to start to reach the arms straight back. And then next inhale, you're going to bring your arms down. So that's the cycle of movement. It's really important for you to be at the back of the chair now, so your back is fully supported. So again, you're going to notice your breath. Maybe you close your eyes. With your next exhale, you're going to start to slowly bring your arms overhead. Maybe it just reaches next to like the front of your ears. Inhale, you're going to bring your arms down next to the hips. Exhale, you're going to bring your arms to reach back. Inhale, you're going to start to bring your arms down next to you. Exhale, arms reach next to the ears. Inhale, arms starts to reach down next to the hips. Exhale, arms reach back. Inhale, arms reach down. Last two, exhale, arms reach overhead. Inhale, arms reach down. Exhale, arms reach back. Inhale, arms down. Last one. Exhale, arms reach up. Inhale, arms reach down next to the hips. Exhale, arms reach back. And then inhale, bring your arms next to the hips and just let your hands rest at the tops of the legs. Soft, easy breaths. So just kind of play in your mind's eye the three sort of movements we just did. And observe if you started to feel that there's a sense of rushing, whether it's a rushing of the breath or the rushing of the movement. Can you let the breath and the movement move with the same sort of pace, so that it's not that one is catching up to the other, or one is sort of getting ahead of the other, but they're both working together. So observe, kind of replay in your mind. Okay, and now we're going to start to bring our shoulder blades to widen and then to contract. So with the next exhale, you can at any point, if you want to open your eyes, you can open your eyes and just soften them again. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start to, with my next exhale, I'm going to start to slowly drag my arms, so they're heavy on my thighs, but I'm going to drag the palms of my hands to the tops of my legs as I start to feel my shoulder blades move in. But I don't want to feel that my lower back is pressing forward. It's just the shoulder blades, which is the upper back region, the kind of the two sides of the upper back, the kind of plate-like structures. They start to move in towards each other, so that's the exhale. And with the inhale, I start to imagine that those plates start to slide away from each other. So those are the two movements. The side view is, maybe it's, I'll give you a back view. Maybe a back view is better. So this is what I would be doing with and you also get to see our Aging with Attitude shirt. Our exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So those are the two actions, but we're actually going to add our neutral position too, as in we're just going to come to a place where we're not rounding in the shoulder blades, nor are we bringing them tight, but they're just neutral. Great. So you can close your eyes after you've settled, or you can start to just soften your eyes but keep them open. So again, we're going to move with the moving together of the shoulder blades first. Exhale, you're going to draw the arms higher up the leg as you start to feel your shoulder blades move tightly in. Inhale, just release your hands, slide them forward, maybe to the center of the thigh. Exhale, you're going to let your shoulder blades round. So your fingertips drag beyond your knees. And then slowly inhale, just bring your hand back to the center as you bring your chest to be even. Exhale, your fingertips will pull back. Shoulder blades move in. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, you're going to round the shoulder blades as your arms are going to drag beyond the knees. Inhale, bring your hands back. Exhale, we're going to do this twice more. Exhale, shoulder blades move in. So the whole back is still supported by the back of the chair. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, you're going to let the shoulder blades round. Inhale, come back to the center. Last time. Exhale, you're going to let the shoulder blades move in. Inhale, you're going to bring your hands back to the center. Exhale, you're going to let the shoulder blades round one last time. And then slowly bring your hand back to the center. Great. So we just moved through the head, the chin, the shoulders, shoulder blades. Now we're going to move the side of the body. So if you need to take a look, you can open your eyes. What we're going to do is we're going to extend the trunk to the left. We're going to come back to the center. We're going to extend the trunk to the right. And come back to center. So this one is important, again, all of them are important for you to be at the back of the chair, especially this one because you can start to feel the moment you start to rotate. So again, we're just thinking about lateral movements. And I'm doing this because we're just moving these two sides of the trunk. We're not moving this way. This would be the rotation. So having the back of the chair can help you feel that. So again, close your eyes at any point. Just notice your breath first. And again, exhale, you're going to start to extend the trunk over to the left side. Inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale, extending the trunk over towards the right side. Let your head follow. Inhale, coming back to the center. So no rush. When you're ready, exhale, extend over to the left. Inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale, extending over towards the right side. And then inhale, coming back to the center. We're going to do this twice more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, last time to the left. So you're not trying to fall off your chair. Inhale. You're finding just a subtle movement. Exhale to the right. And inhale back to the center. And then slowly just find yourself here, settling at the back of the chair. Good. And now we're going to start to move a little bit with the rotation of the hips. If you find that when you were sitting on the towel just now, that was a little bit helpful for you, actually we're going to do something in between just to kind of bring the body a little bit more to that connecting to that sense of sort of stability. So I'm going to come forward again just to show you what we're going to do with the towel. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it. This time you're going to fold it halfway like this. And then you're just going to fold it once more, halfway like this. And then one more time, you're going to fold it. So we did it halfway, halfway, and halfway. So it's a sort of a long, skinny log-like situation. You're going to bring it now to the edge of your, so you're going to be sitting on it. So it's closer towards the back of the chair. And what you're going to do is, I'm going to show you from the side. You're going to pull a little bit with the towel, just like when we were holding it forward in front of us and we pulled it slightly. You're going to pull the towel slightly away with the palms of the hands turning out to the side of the room. And with that, start to move the upper arms and shoulders back without changing the length and the width of your back. And then from there, just start to feel that sense of opening in the chest, not too hard. as you were just kind of in a more dreamlike state with the joint movements. But just a moment to build that sense of stability in your trunk. Notice if you feel any different after you move the trunk in several ways. We're going to continue with those movements in a moment. Okay, so now you can decide if you felt like sitting on some support a little bit more, okay? Brings a little bit more perhaps ease of mobility in the hips. You can leave the towel there. Maybe you can even fold it up a little bit more, right? And you can just experiment with different ways. So maybe you sit on it long ways. What happens when it's kind of in the middle of your seat, right? You can start to maybe feel a sense of sharpness in the inner edges of your sitting bones. Maybe that feels really kind of connected and helps you feel tall. So with that though, you are going to scooch back to the back edge of the chair once again. So you're going to start to, again, connect back to the back of the chair. Once again, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, but of course, keeping the eyes soft and open is totally fine as well. So we're going to do a little bit of a rotation, but this time, because we're using the breath as the guide, as the main sort of determinant of how far we're going to move, you know, it's not about maybe the turns we've done earlier. We're a little bit more sort of vigorous, a little bit more energetic. But this one, I just really want you to follow the breath. So we did our lateral flexion. And now we're going to do our just side to side rotation. So soften the eyes with the next exhale. You're going to start to turn the trunk towards the left side. And inhale, turn the trunk back to the center. Exhale, turn the trunk towards the right side. And inhale, turn the trunk back to the center. So maybe you found, so as we start to rotate to the left, exhale, that you do have more range of motion, but maybe the breath is short. Inhale, turn back to the center. So how can you get to the fullest of your range of motion without, feeling that the breath is behind or you're getting rushed because the breath is not, one is longer than the other? Can you just invite both of them to come? Exhale, rotating towards the right. Inhale, come back to the center. Last one, exhale, rotating towards the left. And then slowly inhale back to the center and last side. Okay. Now we're going to carefully open your eyes if they were closed. We're going to remove the towel, and you're just going to bring the towel right underneath your 2 feet. And you're just going to let your legs be slightly more straight than before, but still soft. Can you find still that you're supported at the back edge of the chair? And so your legs are going to be a little bit more straight in front of you. So we're going to work now. You can open your eyes so you can see. We're going to start to, again, work on the rotation of the leg out, and then back to the center, and then the rotation of the leg in, and then back to the center. If you find that maybe you need to widen the towel a little bit so that it can be a little bit wider, you're welcome to do so, because when you rotate out to the side, when you rotate externally, you watch how my whole leg is turning out from the top of the hip. The whole leg turns out. I don't just turn my feet. I don't just kind of yank my knees out. I feel the rotation from the top of the leg, and then I can come back so that it's neutral. It's parallel to each other, and then I can think about rotating my legs in and coming back to the center. So we're going to work on that. Now that you saw the 2 movements, you can start to close your eyes. So again, you're going to feel the support of the chair. So you might want to scooch back. So keep a softness in the legs. Exhale, feel the underside of your hips where you're seated against the chair. Gather in. And inhale, you're going to bring your feet back to its neutral parallel position. If you find sitting at the back of the chair feels a little bit caught in any way, you're always welcome to scooch forward, but just know that you'll have to then support yourself more fully. So again, you're going to, this time, your exhale is going to rotate your two legs inwards, not to the point where you're feeling strain, but just also you respecting the duration of your exhale. Inhale, bring the legs back to the center. Exhale, rotate. So feel the legs rotate out to the side. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale, rotate the legs inwards. Feel from the top of the leg rotating. Inhale, coming back to the center. So again, exhale, rotate the leg out. Inhale, back to the center. So feel that the movement comes from the top of the hip. Exhale, rotate the legs in. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, rotate the legs out. Inhale, back to the center. Last time, exhale, rotate the legs in. Inhale, back to the center. Good work. So now you're going to just start to scoot to the front of the chair, and then from here you can open your eyes. You're going to bring your feet down from the towel, and one last time you're going to start to bring the towel next to the hip crease. You just fold that long log once so that you can start to extend the trunk over once again. You can walk the hips back so that your shins are more perpendicular to the floor. And from there, if you can touch the floor, you can reach down towards the floor. You can let your head go and you can rest here, knowing you have the support of your legs to keep the front of the chest tall. If you find that you're rounding in any way, you can always, again, come up a little bit higher so that the forearms are on the tops of the thighs. Let your head relax. Just observe the breath here. Can you breathe more into the back of the body now that that's facing up to the ceiling? And then slowly you're going to bring your hands up and come up to a seated position. And you're going to now start to bring your legs in. You're going to walk your feet back. You're going to start to press the heels down so you feel the connection down to the floor as you start to feel the hips shift back. So you can even use the towel as a way to encourage the hips to move back. So I'm going to show you laterally. We're going to come up to stand. So with your feet close in, with the hands to the side of the towel, you can pull so that you can start to feel the hips move back. And at any point, you're going to adjust the feet so it's closer to the front edge of the chair. From there, see if you can come up to hover. You're seeing an inch or two off. If not, you can just extend the trunk a little bit forward as the towel pulls back and just hover. Feel the buttocks move up away from the chair seat. So you never have to fully lift up, but feel the musculature of your body start to engage. And from there, maybe you come up to stand. Maybe you need a wider stance and you open the stance of your legs. And you can start from there, keeping the knees facing forward. You're going to start to come up to our straight position. Good. And today, we're actually going to end class with ourselves standing at the back edge of the chair. So you're going to bring your towel towards just rest it wherever you rest it. You rest it on the top of the chair. So I want you to start to find just your legs at the width of the chair itself. You're going to bring your hands to the top of the chair. And you're going to pull the chair so that the top of the chair is close towards your legs. And then I want you to move your thighs towards the top of the chair itself. So you have that sense where you're standing on your two legs. But from here, soften the knees a little bit so that you start to feel your weight is slightly morphed towards the front ball mount of the foot. And from there, start to see if you can feel a sense of width happening in the back area. As you start to soften here, maybe you close your eyes. So I don't want you to bend your knees so much so you feel like you're doing some sort of strong power pose. It's a very soft sensation, but I want you to have your hands on the sides of the chair and the top of the chair so you know exactly where you are, so you're not going to start to go anywhere. So imagine a sense of floating. Maybe you close your eyes or just soften your gaze. But feel that freedom of the neck, of the shoulders, of the trunk, of the spine, of the hips, of the feet. And of course, of your breath. We started class by observing our exhales. So how does your exhale feel now? If at any point you're feeling like you're getting a little bit too relaxed and you need to have a seat, please have a seat before you actually get too relaxed and you need to, you need someone to maybe carry you to sleep. Feeling the space underneath the armpits so that there's that sense of spaciousness you're making. Let that sense of spaciousness travel down towards the space behind your knees. Because the knees are a little bit soft, maybe you start to feel there's a groove there. Let that space kind of rests in that groove. Just like the groove of your armpits. Feeling also space between the chin and the chest. So you have also the space of the mouth, the ears, the nostrils, between the fingertips, between the toe tips, arches of the feet. And then you can, of course, think about the inner spaces of the body. Insides of the feet, insides of the two legs, insides of the hips, insides of the trunk, and the head. Maybe you start to slowly open your eyes, starting to slowly, not sharpen the focus, just kind of open, blinking your eyes open. So still feeling in a very kind of soft, sleepy state. And with this sense, maybe you start to carefully let yourself move more towards the back edge of your heels so that you're no longer connecting to the front edge of towards the back of the chair back. From there, you're going to start to press your heels down as you lift your thighs up. So now connecting to that sense of being stable. You take a breath in, take a breath out. Observing your relaxed body now. Maybe preparing now to go to sleep. Thank you so much for joining me today for this more restorative practice. Just to let you know that this chair yoga class happens live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. So it's usually during the day. So of course the practice is generally sort of more energizing, but because this is a recording and you can play it whenever you'd like to, I thought I'd offer something a little bit different than what we usually do in class. But definitely feel free to check out the other two videos that are on the Senior Planet YouTube channel, our chair yoga classes and also our Fit Fusion and our morning stretch. So you can also find our online calendar of events at seniorplanet.org/online, and that is where you can see all of our entire calendar of weekly events, not just our fitness and wellness, but also our other technology-based lectures, activities, discussions, etc. So I hope to see you soon. Be well, and thank you very much for being here today.